Man, reason John Howard sucked number 157? I don't know this because it's about tax, and even if my accountant told me...
Okay, Mr. Jordan, I found a way to save you $13,000 in taxes. All you have to do is scan this page and...
Nah.
Mr. Jordan, I really think you should...
And I strongly think you should fuck off, Zuri. But try to follow me here because this is more complicated than Charlene and Patrick's relationship. So if you don't get it, watch the elongated explanation on my YouTube channel because this is the real eye of the pyramid. I told you the reptile people were real, yeah? David Icke, Jamie Oliver if he was a conspiracy theorist, yeah? Here we go. If you own shares, you own a piece of that company, right? And that company sometimes pays tax. And then after they pay their tax, they sometimes give you a share of their profit. Fuck, this is just... You're watching Behind the News with swearing. These cunts know what a rainbow kiss is. Anyway, in the 80s, Paul Keating, agreeing with every mildly successful fat business guy that spends his entire life in a greasy Chinese restaurant complaining,
"You shouldn't have to pay tax twice. The only thing you should be double dipping is spring rolls."
So Mr. Keating said, okay, because those shares have already been taxed by 30% and you owe 40% income tax, you only have to pay 10% tax on those shares that have already been taxed. Does that make sense? God, I wish there was a way of explaining that without sounding like one of those old ING ads. At ING, we have to tell 5 people a day that no, you can't buy butter here. You're thinking of IGA, not ING. And there's disagreements between economists as to whether or not that's a good idea, but what is universally regarded as pure insanity is after Paul Keating, in trots Crazy John and his enchanted magic knee Peter Costello, who pines that... What's the matter, my right knee man? I just made superannuation tax-free, so now I have some retired billionaires that don't pay any tax, and so Paul Keating's tax credits on their shares are useless. Yes, that is a bit of a...
Today, Junior?
Pickle? I know. How about we make it legal to trade in those tax credits for taxpayer money? Are you saying that people who pay zero tax will now get a check from the taxpayer? No, Peter. Only rich people who pay no tax. In fact, let's cut $1 billion out of the dough. Knee-jerk reaction! That's what they did! The so-called best economic managers Australia ever had cut $1 billion from welfare because they're not nice to their knees. Wash your knees more! But then started a new dole just for the rich, which costs nearly 6 times that. $5.6 billion a year. That's almost as much as we spend on youth allowance, New Start, Oz Study and Ab Study combined. It's the VIP version of Centrelink, Centrelexus. So fast forward to now, income's bill short and with the most reasonable suggestion I've ever heard in my life, which is that, how about we not do that? And the fuss the Liberals kicked up.
This is going to affect millions of retirees.
Millions. No, it won't.
Well, maybe not millions, 200,000.
Which is 0.6% of the population.
All hard-working retirees.
Of which most get like $10. The old people the Liberals are trying to get you to imagine, the ones that make up Millionaire Hot Seats audience.
Never once yelled out an engineer that played the whole game in your head.
Good way to spend your last decade on Earth.
Well, people plan their retirement around those free checks.
Yeah, retired stockbrokers who know how to game the system. Normal pensioners plan their retirement around how they're going to afford obscure Stephen King books no one's read, like The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. They don't know what dividend imputation is, no one does. I'm doing a video on dividend imputation and even I don't know what dividend imputation is. It's a system set up for and exploited by extremely wealthy, extremely financially literate people who are so monetarily competent they can manage their own super funds and have $2.4 million in shares alone in their portfolio. That's where half of this money goes, to people with over $2.4 million in shares.
Oh, even if I won Millionaire Hot Seat, I wouldn't have that, but I would have the memories.
Meaning these people who are paying no tax are getting at a minimum $204,000 of potential free money a year off the taxpayer. While the Liberals are pretending it's these salt-of-the-earth grandmummies and daddies that are getting punished by Labor for dare-cutting Centrelexus, when in reality the only victims here are your children. You know how much dividend imputation is going to cost the taxpayer over the next 10 years? $59 billion. Remember Gonski, the education program that Gillard tried to set up so that we stopped lingering around Turkey's level of education and our kids had a shot at being educated enough to compete with countries that, I don't know, have slightly less donkeys? Remember how the Liberals said,
Nah, can't afford Gonski.
then made a shit Fort USA version of Gonski where the kids say,
It smells funny in there.
No, it doesn't.
if we stopped giving millionaires the dole, we could afford to implement Gonski twice. Think about that. The Liberals would rather see 2 Gonskis worth of money go towards retired bankers and stockbrokers' accounts than they would see it eradicate rat's tails by 2020. Because if you were even remotely educated, you would think,
Yeah, this is a pretty fucked haircut, eh?
so when you see those 2-second reports on Channel 7 about dividend imputation where they say,
Labor says,
Aye.
and the Liberals say,
Hurts retirees.
allow me to add my 2 seconds to the debate. No.
please share and comment below. Comment!
È sempre misero che adesso affida a chi le confida qualcosa ancora. Ormai non sentesi felice